Hi, this is Param. In this video, we will see how to add or remove master eligible nodes. Okay, the discussion is only about the master eligible nodes. Okay, but of course you can add any other type of node as well, which is play other role like data node or ingestion node, any other role as well. Okay, but in this topics we are going to discuss about the master eligible node only. Okay, first things. Okay, as I told you in many videos, your Elasticsearch cluster can be a single host within the single host, or it can be multiple hosts. Okay, usually in a production or dev environment, wherever UAT whatever it is, okay, we will be running multi-host environment only. Okay, though it is single instance. Okay, okay, that's good. Now just see the single multi node cluster instance within the single host is only for studying purpose or evaluating features of the Elasticsearch. Okay, or doing some POC or part of personal learning or something like that. That is where we will be using multiple node of Elasticsearch cluster within a single node. So in that case, we no need to do many configurations. Everything is done automatically. The default config is more enough. Okay, that is separate story. Okay, now of course we want to set up the multiple in the multiple host for the dev environment or UAT or productions. Okay, in this case, the best things what is now you go with the minimum 3 node cluster. Okay, first things. Okay, for sake of argument I will discuss at the end. Okay, but for the first case, okay, you start with the minimum 3 node clusters. Okay, you make sure all the 3 nodes are master eligible. Okay, irrespective of what else role it's play. Okay, so if it is 5 node, then still fine. Okay, you can have 3 node as a master eligible, then and you can add later. The first thing is what is good practice now. You first start with a small and fixed number of master eligible node. So obviously initial master node must be there, CD host must be there, right? Okay. So whenever you're going for multiple host. Okay. So in that case, what will happen? In that case, what will happen? You are starting with the minimum 3 node cluster. So three node master eligible node clusters. Okay. Later you realize that okay, later you are realizing that you want to scale up. Okay, so that is where where this topic is comes into. Okay, so if you want, so we are not discussing about how to start one after another. That is not we are discussing into that. Okay, so if you start with the minimum 3 node cluster. Okay, 3 initial master node, three seed host provider, you start. Okay, all the parallelly. Okay, so with the same host name, so then it will be joined and formed 3 node clusters. Okay, that is mandatory. Later you want to scale up. Okay, or you want to scale you want to scale up means due to the ingestion rate or something like that. Okay, that times you can go for that times we can go for adding one or more Elasticsearch Elasticsearch master eligible node. That is what this video talks about. Okay, how to add. Okay, so very simple. In another host, okay, you will specify the cluster names. Okay, obviously. Okay, then you will start. Okay, cluster names and host, everything you will specify. Okay, then of course seed host you will be specify. Okay, then master eligible node also you will be master node seed host also you will be specify. Okay, then it will start to find the cluster in the network, and within the network then it will find that, it will join that. Okay, it will join that. So this is how you can add master eligible node. So since it is a master eligible node, right, so this can be configured voting configuration. So this can be contributed in the voting configuration as well, right? Okay, so it can be eligible for voting as well. So the master node the master node of existing clusters will accept this joining request, and it will share note down that new node also master eligible node, and it will be a part of the voting. So all the information will be synced up. Okay, similarly if you want one more, then you can start. Obviously what is now master eligible node should be 3, 5, 7. That is really good one. So it is if any one node goes down, it will be very easy to still the cluster will be available, and still it will be green status. Okay, similarly if now we have seen how to add. Now we want to remove the master eligible node. Okay, so let's say we have run 5 node or 7 node. Okay, that times gracefully. Okay, that times gracefully is different. That is full rolling, full restart. Okay, that is let us not talk about full restart. Okay, now if I want to remove one more one node, one master node from the clusters. Okay, what I will do now? I have to add the master eligible node. Master eligible this API. Where is that? I think I have shown in the earlier video also. Yeah, here this is a post request. Okay, here you can add your master your master eligible node which you want to remove. Okay, so which you want to, so that's how it will you will using this API you can request particular node to be excluded from the voting configuration first. That is the first steps. Okay, so obviously then you have to wait for minimum 30 seconds. Okay, 30 or 40 seconds. So because let cluster run and make sure all the sync everything. Okay, everything has to be get notified. Okay, so you have to wait for some 30 seconds. After that you can go and shut down. Okay, you can go and shut down. Okay, so that this is how you can remove the node one after another. Okay, now now when we have to go for exclusion list, so exclusion list is what is here what's a voting exclusion list, right? So this is a list in fact. Okay, when your cluster is running, okay, when in normal mode or when you, okay, that time you should not have any exclusion list. Okay, so exclusion list if it is there, it should be removed, it should be updated and it should be cleared. Okay, that is very simple, it should be cleared. Okay, so that's why you are or by mistake if you add or if you add some node in the exclusion list, then you can remove that also. Okay, so if you want the exclusion list itself, hey, I don't want any exclusion list. Okay, so you remove all the exclusions. By mistake I added, okay, in the exclusion list for some master eligible node or one or more two master eligible node. Now you please remove. Yeah, of course, at the same time so you can add one or more master eligible one or more master eligible node in the exclusion list. Okay, but if you want to remove all the master exclusion list, you can remove immediately, or you can wait for the. Okay, please don't wait. You just very it's your immediate task. You please remove my exclusion list. By mistake I added. Okay, by mistake I added some master eligible node in the exclusion list. Okay, not in the cluster. Okay, so this is what you are removing exclusion list only. This API talks about removing the exclusion list only. Okay, but if you want to get any voting configurations, okay, this is how you can get. Okay, how many voting configurations? Almost 3 nodes. Voting configurations. Okay, who are all part of the voting configurations? But so if you want to exclude if you want to remove from the master eligible node voting configuration, this is the API you have to you can use to remove that. Okay, now why we have to go for my exclusion list, right? Okay, see, very simple. If you let's say if you suddenly kill any node, okay, that time cluster may be may not be available for some times. That could be the one reason. That is good one reason. Second things, all the master state data, if it is played data node as well, so data node role as well, then all the data has to be reallocated, rebalanced. So there are many tasks for the master node. Okay, so to do for sake of very decent release, okay, for sake of very decent release only we are going for exclusion list. Even that exclusion list, when it is very important, if you want to shut down the 50% of master node, say you are having if you are having 7 master node, okay, so in that if you want to remove 4 node, let's say you have a scaled up, but now you for that you understand that is fine, so let us remove the 4 node. Then whenever you are going to remove half or more than half of the master eligible node, you are going to remove at the same time half or more than half of the master eligible node count, then that times exclusion list is very important in fact. Okay, that exclusion list is very important. Okay, then what else I want to tell you? Of course, if it is single node, that your cluster state will be yellow. Okay, like I said, yellow. Okay, of course, the role of master eligible voting configuration is first to elect a master node and to commit the master state. That's it. Only for these two is master eligible node voting is considered. Okay, this is what. Okay, to add a new node. Okay. Okay, I think I have explained everything. Hmm? I have explained everything. But two more settings are there. Let me. I forgot to tell that. Okay, master election settings. Okay, voting configuration. Yes, here at a times, how many node you can be excluded. Let's say you are running 50 nodes or 600 nodes. Even I have seen such a clusters. Okay, if you are running more than 50 plus cluster node, then then if you want to take down more than 10 node, okay, then that is not supported. Okay, at a times you can exclude maximum 10 nodes. But if you want to modify, you can modify. Okay, of course, you can. Even let's say your cluster state. Sorry, in your cluster number of master eligible nodes count will keep on ups and down. Okay, for many time for many reason, maybe because saving or data will not be for 1 week or something like that. Okay, registration rate may be reduced for next 1 month. So if you have again after 1 month it may goes up again. You may need again 17 or something like that. Okay, so if it is the case, you can change this variable default to maybe 50 or 20 what. Okay, but by default you can exclude 10 node at a times. That is for configurations. Okay, that's all about the adding or removing node. Adding removing master eligible node of or in from or to the existing cluster. Okay, so the best part is please start with the 3 node cluster minimum. Okay, 3 node master eligible node clusters. Okay, then if you want to go for add, then you can consider this topic or you can consider this video. Okay, this is what exact topic here. Okay, add and remove the node information clusters. Okay, you can see that within the setup cluster in the documentations. Okay, okay, if you want, then of course you are having a lot of master eligible node, but it is no need. Then that times if you can reduce, how to reduce the master eligible node. So that means exactly the voting configuration will be changed. Okay, of course you have to wait for some times. Okay, whenever you issue removing or whenever you are adding new node, you have to wait for 30 to 40 seconds. Then only the cluster state will be updated, because of committing cluster state also need for voting, right? So that's very. Thank you. Thanks for watching.